All right, welcome back to another Arsenal Talk Show episode. Today is a little different. I'm not going to be answering any of the questions. Typically, I'll be answering y'all's questions that are sent in the Discord or whatever. But I did kind of mention how sometimes if something comes up and I kind of want to just talk about it and it doesn't have to be a question, then I'll do that. And that's kind of what today is, or that's exactly what today is. There's been some stuff. Basically, it's what the title says. I- uh, it's gonna sound weird. It's not as weird as it sounds. Okay, just wanna put that out there. I'm not going into some like crazed state where I'm like, I'm actually not a human. I'm a dog. You know, I'm not. It's not what I'm trying to say here. But basically, I don't feel like a human anymore. I feel like a robot. Um, because every day is kind of sort of the same thing. You know, not really the same thing. Like every day is kind of different, I guess, for me. But it's gotten to the point where really just it's really just I'm having to do a whole bunch of things and I don't even like second guess it really. Like recording, editing, talking, all that stuff. It's just all kind of like on the loop and it feels like a whole system. Um and it's gotten to the point where if I don't feel like I'm a robot or like if I don't have structure during that day, I feel very out of control and I don't feel like myself. I just feel off or I just feel different. Um, it's really hard to explain, but I think this content stuff has really kind of driven me to this point because this content stuff, you kind of have to have like a set schedule sort of thing. Um, and you're always kind of working on something. And it's like, okay, today I have to do this. Today I have to do this. And you're just kind of working on the same kind of repetition to an extent every single day. I'm not communicating this very well because it's very hard for me to say what's in my brain and actually present it in a way that's actually understandable to other people. But it's basically how it's been. It is I just it's hard to even feel like a human. It feels like I'm like programmed to like do some stuff, you know? This is really starting to annoy me that I can't explain this. But it's just I think it's just the repetition and the systematic processes that I have every single day in order to do in order to accomplish stuff with content, especially with like streaming. Because if I'm not editing a video that day, I'm streaming. And it's like especially with like school and stuff, I don't have like any free time really. I don't have time to just kind of like go in and do whatever the hell. And I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I mean, it kind of is a bad thing, but also kind of not. It's like I'm used to it and whatever, and I don't think it poorly. Uh, saying it out loud now kind of makes me rethink it, but I don't think it's a bad thing, and I don't think it's like it's not like me saying like, oh, I can't do this anymore because of this. It's more so just me kind of saying how I feel, and I kind of like it, but I also kind of am just like concerned for my well-being to an extent. I want to create content. I want to do all this other stuff. I'm not like tired of making content or anything. Because I still enjoy it a lot. And it lets me have like some creativity and some space to kind of like talk about whatever I need to talk about. I feel like it's kind of like a safe space for me. Um, but like I said, it's also just it's very weird. I've never really felt this way before. Where I just feel like it's just constant, same thing. And, having all these requirements to do every single day just to meet up with and doing the same thing, like, recording, then editing, and so on and so forth. Almost all part of my life is just recording and editing with having to do schoolwork and stuff as well in between. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt this way kind of before. I'm sure people have, but like, not a lot of people speak about it. But okay, I swear to God, there's a guy behind there. I thought I saw like a green thing, but I guess I didn't. Oh my God, dead upon. I hate it here. And part of this was, I mean, for multiple reasons. There's a reason why I'm talking about this now, because this has been a way I've felt for a really long time. Because when you're online, you don't get to see a whole lot of people. You don't get that human interaction. And so I think that amplifies the feeling of not feeling like a person, because you're dealing with online people, you know, you don't, you can't fully understand or you know someone when they're just online. I know there's a lot of people who, you know, have a lot of online friends, and that's, you know, that's fine. I just personally can't see people who are, you know, online, who I interact with, as like friends, because I don't think you can fully, like I said, I don't think you can fully know someone um just because of, you know, just because you've talked to them online. um so I've got a lot of opinions and stuff like that about like online friendships, relationships, all that stuff. I don't know why I got into this, but either way, it's it's kind of why I am kind of valuing kind of going out a little bit, and also kind of why I enjoy having an outside of like an outside job other than this. Although this isn't necessarily like a job for me, it's more of just like my outlet to be able to, you know, use my brain and be creative and use it in different ways. This is sort of my outlet for that. But um that's kind of why I got, like I said, this is kind of like why I got a job outside, because it helps me feel a bit more human, because you get a whole lot of human interaction, and you kind of do you know, I don't, it's basically just a lot of interaction that you don't get when you're online. And so that always kind of helps me feel a bit better whenever, you know, I kind of get off a shift at work or whatever. I mean, now it's kind of like you know, now I'm starting getting tired of it, but I also need to, because financially it makes sense to do it. But I feel like I'm getting back kind of into, whenever I do get off of work, you know, I kind of feel more alive again, and not so zombie like. Because when, like I said, when it's just content creation, especially during the summer, when all I'd really do is kind of go out like once a week or so to kind of go and do something, because I was so focused on doing YouTube, you just get into such a repetition and such like a outside mindset that you don't even like develop your own like thoughts or whatever. I this sounds, I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I'm promise I'm trying to explain this in a way that, you know, kind of is relatable, I hope, to some people. Because I feel like I'm going crazy now that I'm talking about it. It's like, it's how I felt, but now that I'm actually like talking about it, I sound like I'm a crazy person. But I don't believe that I am, because I feel like this is just stuff that people go through. But like I'm valuing, basically I'm valuing a lot of in-person relationships and stuff a lot more, because it helps me feel a certain type of way that I haven't felt in so many years because of content creation. And I do want to vouch and kind of like, you know, go on a little thing of like how important it is to kind of go out and interact with other people, because you don't really want to get stuck in this mindset, because you, like I said, you kind of start developing like a sense of, I don't know, you start developing like a feeling of, you know, not being you. And I feel like that's very unhealthy to have that. Of course I get a snowball. Anyways, that's basically all I really needed to say for this. I just kind of want to talk about how I've sort of been feeling for a little bit now, and also kind of, you know, give some like insight into some things that are possibly helpful, even though you might not think it. I do think that going out and, you know, having at least some sort of interaction is a very positive thing to do. Or at least just going outside and like going for a walk or something. It kind of helps refresh your brain a little bit. Just like a simple little walk just like does so much work with like mental stuff. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just, at least for me, it helps so much with just, you know, being able to think again, think properly, and kind of get back into feeling like a person again. You know, not just something that's just, it's just like repeatedly doing the same thing over and over and over again. Even though content creation is like, you're not technically doing the same thing over and over again. It's just kind of the process, I think, is all kind of the same. You know, it's just record, edit, record, edit, record, edit. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again very soon.